You don't need microservices. You don't need event-driven architecture. And no, you definitely don't need Kubernetes. If that advice makes you uncomfortable, this video is probably for you. Today, we are talking about why most architecture advice fails, not because it's wrong, but because you're hearing it way too early. By the end of this video, you'll know why copying big tech architecture hurts most teams, how to recognize when the advice is premature, and how to make architectural decisions that actually fit your stage, not someone else's success story. Let me describe a very common situation. You're building an app. Maybe it's a side project. Maybe it's an external tool. Maybe it has, let's be generous, 50 users. And you Google best backend architecture. And suddenly you're told split everything into microservices, add message queues, add retries, sagas, circuit breakers, plan for horizontal scaling, and obviously Kubernetes. And you think, if I don't do this now, I'll probably regret it later. This is where things go wrong. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most architecture advice assumes you're already successful. It assumes that you have traffic, scale, multiple teams, and you have already survived the boring phase. But you are not there yet. And architecture advice without context is worse than no advice at all. This is like buying race car tires when you're still learning how to drive. Yes, those tires are amazing and they perform incredibly, but at 300 kilometers per hour on a track. But in city traffic, they are expensive, uncomfortable, and they make life harder. That's modern architecture advice for early stage projects. Now here's the twist. The people giving this advice, they're not lying. They're describing the problems they had after they hit million of users, dozen of services, and years of growth. But they are solving yesterday's problems, not yours. Architecture advice is usually post-trauma advice. When you over-architect too early, you don't become future-proof. You become slower to build, harder to debug, harder to onboard new devs, and easier to abandon. Instead of solving user problems, you are solving imaginary scaling problems. And the worst part, you feel productive while making zero progress. So if big architecture advice fails early, what actually works? Here's the rule I want you to remember. Architecture should solve current pain, not hypothetical future pain. If you don't feel the pain yet, you probably don't need the solution. Start with the simple monolith with clear boundaries in code, boring, readable solutions, and the fastest path to learning from all users. Good architecture early on is not clever. It's boring on purpose. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't think ahead. It means don't lock yourself in. Instead of microservices, write clean modules, keep interfaces clear, avoid tight coupling, log everything, and keep deployments stupid simple. This gives you optionality, and optionality beats premature optimization every freaking time. The idea is right solution, right time. So let's bring it home. Most architecture advice fails not because it's bad, but because it's too early. Build for today, learn from reality, and let success, not fear, force your architecture to evolve. That's how real systems are built. If this helped you think more clearly about architecture, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.